It's another beautiful evening here in Lafia, and as usual, it's always the forum. And my name is Dauda Saliu. This evening is going to be a good one because we're heading towards celebrating our 65th anniversary, that's 65th independence, and of course, Nasarawa State going to become 29, hopefully by tomorrow, by special grace of God. And we're going to be discussing a whole lot of issues: politics, human capital development, infrastructural development, economy, and a whole lot of things that have to do with the history of Nigeria. And I have the honor this evening to welcome to the studio of the forum Senator Architect Saliu Hussein Ijigbola. He is the Madakin Agwatachi. Sir, you're welcome. Agwatachi, I'm sorry.
Thank you very
much. You're welcome. Yes.
Good evening, viewers.
Nigeria is going to be 65, God's grace, tomorrow. And politics is the end thing that is on now. The ground is set for political activities. Though INEC have not raised their flag for us to start, but underneath, a lot of things are happening. How would you look at Nigerian politics as it is today? Comparing, you've been in politics for a very long time. You, at a point, was a senator of the Federal Republic, and a whole lot of things you have been involved in, ups and downs that has to do with politics. The fact that you are not being seen physically, but underneath, a lot of people know that you're still part of the political scene. So you're welcome, sir. So what's your take as we?
It's a pleasure having me. Thank you very much. Politics today is quite different from what used to happen before. There are many things that can affect political development. Awareness, technology, education, and all sorts of things can affect the way politics is being conducted. I remember in the early 2000s, when I started my political career, we used to campaign door to door. There is no village or no settlement in this zone that I don't know. I have not been to solicit for votes. But you can agree with me that today is not the case. The reason is that technology is playing a part. With just a click of a button, you can reach thousands of people, whether in the villages, in the hinterland, or in the cities. So it's quite different. And the crave for wealth also is playing a great part to it. On the part of the people seeking offices, many of us are doing it because we don't have job to do. So it's like a means of employment. And we try to get offices so that we can get something to do. On the part of the voters see it as a way to extort some stipends. And you can understand because of the level of poverty in our society. So these two things also affect the way the political development is emerging. And so, but gradually, I mean, speaking, things are improving for the better. Some people may not agree, but I think it is, because in those days, we used to stuff ballot boxes. We used to steal ballot boxes. And then the results sometimes are skewed. It's not that it doesn't happen these days, but very limited. And therefore, gradually we're getting to a level where voters will begin to say, yes, my vote is counting. We'll get there. We're not there yet, but gradually, from where we started and where we're heading to, I think one day we'll get there.
You've said a lot. You've given us a background of how it used to be, and where we are today, and hoping that we are growing and we surely get there. But you mentioned the word wealth as a factor in the way we play our politics today in Nigeria. And a lot of people will look at that as a very strong factor, because we've seen money changing hands when it comes to nominations, political whatever, money changing hands. We've had a lot of issues that has to do with, we have a lot of issues that has to do with people buying votes, people doing a whole lot of it. Where is the place, where do you place corruption when it comes to politics in Nigeria?
Well, it will be foolhardy to say that there's no corruption in Nigeria. I don't believe, in fact, no society at all, even the most, even the cleanest country, there's some level of corruption. Because corruption is subjective. What is corruption? Sometimes it could be moral corruption. Sometimes it's obstruction of justice is corruption. All sorts of things can mean corruption. But if I understand what you are saying in terms of exchanging money,
yeah.
Well, it's difficult in a country where you have poverty, where the salary, the salary, what you earn from your businesses cannot get you by. And in some cases, it's just pure greed. It's not that some people have enough, but because of greed, they won't stop collecting or giving. So these are the issues that I've seen in what is going on. And it's not only about politics, it's a Nigerian thing. And so we hope that one day, as we are getting wealthier, the country, I mean the country, I think the president of Nigeria now is trying to clean up some of this. He might not be able to clean up corruption entirely, but there are certain things that he's doing that will reduce corruption. Because if you leave an opening, and that's why people, just like a rat, if you leave your pot open, it will go in. And so when the pot is closed, you find it difficult to go in and take your piece of meat. So it's like that. The liberalization of the oil sector is a good way of looking at it that way. The monies that were being stolen are now is no longer there to be stolen. It's not that the sector is clean of corruption, but that aspect that is directly, making us becoming poorer and poorer has been blocked. Is one of it. The payment system within the federal government structure is being streamlined in such a way that those things that used to happen even at the lowest level, becomes a big problem to the country. Really, you have to be opportune to be able to steal money now. Otherwise, it's difficult. You can only extort from people, the innocent Nigerians. So this is the situation. In any case, it's not going to be easy to stamp out corruption, not for now. But I think certain things are being done. The present administration is looking at it differently from the way our departed and beloved president, Muhammadu Buhari, did his own. He did more of looking out for thieves. This one is looking out to close the spaces where thieves carry money. And so you can see the different approaches. And I think everybody is doing your own. One day, we have hope and believe that Nigeria will be better for it.
Apart from the issue of money and corruption, that when I say the money exchange hands in terms of the way we play our politics here in Nigeria, we have another very strong issue that has to do with our politics, this issue of godfatherism. And it has been a cankerworm in our political scene for a very long time. And to this moment, we're still seeing that happening. And from what you said at the onset of this program, that we are growing. Are we really growing? Looking at what is still happening, this issue of godfatherism, if you don't have a godfather, you cannot be there. You need somebody to,
Well, I think we have to be in tune with reality. If you are going to do politics, there has to be godfatherism anywhere in the world.
Okay.
It's not Nigeria only. I mean, Trump is a godfather to many other folks over there, who are. Clinton was a godfather to Obama and co and all those people. that is the kind of model of politics that we're doing. Okay. If you go to Britain, it's almost the same thing. Look, in life, somebody has to recommend you for something.
Yeah.
Somebody has to say something about you before you become something. And if that is the case, then it is morally wrong for somebody to have done something for you and you pay him back and say, no, you are nothing. It doesn't happen. I mean, even in our religious books, they say whoever helps you to climb a ladder and you say it's nothing, by the time he takes away the ladder, you will now know how difficult it is to come down. So, godfatherism in itself is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But how do you do it is the problem. To what extent can you take this godfatherism? What is the extent to this loyalty? So I think that should be the issue. But godfathering itself is not a bad thing. It happens all over the world. And we must accept as a reality that it's not a bad thing. It happens everywhere in politics.
The fact that we agree that yes, it's not a bad thing, just like you just said, we've seen a lot of drama unfolding. We've seen issues of godfathers, loyalty being lost out, and a whole lot of issues. We've seen where people want to decide for you how to govern your state. With a very good example, let's look at what has just happened in Rivers State. I think they've just resolved the issue. And a whole lot of, not Rivers State alone, we've seen happening in other states where people will still retain that position as whether the godfather of the state or whatever in terms of politics. So when you bring it to Nigeria context, looking at what is happening, how would you rate us in that aspect?
Well, in that aspect, I would rate us very badly. And we need to do something about it because, look, even where democracy is not part of Africa, where we have our own system of governance. We respect elders, and that respect and leadership transcends downwards, and they pass instructions. We obey them, we have less crime, every problem, that we involve democracy. So one of the tenets of democracy is this godfatherism. But coming back to this issue you mentioned, I will rate us very low. Because in America, those godfathers, when they leave office, they only wait when the person in charge now calls you to give advice. And normally behind the scene, you don't hear them in public. But in our own case, I think mostly has to do also greed. That category falls under greed of corruption. I think if you have had 8 years and you retire or you leave office, it should be okay. Go and do other things and leave these people to do their own. I'm not saying you should just part ways. No, but remain at the background. Be looking out. If there are issues at the background, call for advice. You can call. Look, what I've seen is happening probably will lead us to a problem. I think you should do it this way. If he takes it, fine. If he doesn't, you've done your own. On these parts, if there are issues that he thinks that you can resolve, he will call on you. This is how it happens all over the world, not Nigerian context. So in that respect, I think we are doing badly, and I will call on us politicians to try to ensure that we have peace, because in the case of Rivers State, they have lost 6 months of political development, and 6 months is something. So I think it's not a good situation and for clarity, we need to avoid those kind of situations.
You are a very respected elder statesman in the state, a politician of high repute. A lot of youths are looking up to you because you're not the kind of politician that comes on air and say all sorts of things all the time. You take your time before coming on air to say 1 or 2 things, which most of the youths are looking up to you. What advice will you give as it is now? Because it's becoming very difficult for the youth to find space in politics because the elders refuse to go and they're still trying to block. What advice How do you look at it? What advice are you going to give to the youth? And of course, the elders that, look, it's time we allow these youth to join us, or it's time, yes, let's go take our rest and allow them to steer the...
Now, I think the question now goes back to the youth themselves.
Okay.
They need to be respectful. Look, respect is earned.
Okay.
Leadership is earned. Everything you do in politics and even in life is earned. But when you're reckless, you think you can do anything without repercussion, then the elders are watching and they will be scared. A few examples of young people who have been in the mantle of leadership have not shown exemplary behavior or even a stride. Because if you're a young person, we will want to see you do excellently well. A lot of the youths now, sometimes they just perform averagely. If they do, most of them averagely. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot. And therefore, sometimes it's very difficult for elders to just let go. So I'm calling on the youth to be very, very serious. Leadership is not about money. It's responsibility. Leadership is about trust. The people who are leading have to trust you, and the people who are giving you leadership have to trust you. So you must do all you can to be very, very responsible. If they give you, as is happening now, they give you SSA, or whatever it is that the government feels, because that's the starting point. They will give you something and see how you do. This governor that I know, Engineer Isule, if you do well, he will take you serious. So the question now is, on the assignment you are given, what have you done? Have you excelled? If you don't excel, you fall by the way. So these are the problems that we have with our youth, and I'm challenging them.
Okay.
Sometimes some truths are bitter, but that is the reality. They really have to stand up and do the right things and forget about money, because money, you have to work for it. If you don't work for it, you think that as soon as you come, the money that is available you pick is a big problem. So they must be able to render service. Politics is service. It's not about wealth creation. So that's how it is.
Well, viewers, all this while I have been discussing with Senator Architect Saliu Hussein Ejibola. He is the Madakin Agwatashi, and he has been giving us some insight into the way we run our politics. He has given us his own opinions, his own views, and of course, where he wants the youth to play in, where he wants the youth, he thinks the youth can take in, and what he wants the youth to do. And so if you're listening or you're just joining in, it's a place for you to learn. So let me get back to the Honorable Senator. Sir, You've given us an insight into where the youth, the issue of trust and a whole lot of issues. Today we've seen the youth, this get-rich-quick syndrome is what is disturbing us, the youth, and everybody wants to get there because they feel politics is a place where you just go there and make the money. Now, let's drop that aside. Let's take on sectoral development in Nigeria. We're 65, and this present administration is just 2 years gone, right? We're heading towards the third year. So how would you rate the performance of this administration? So far, so good.
Well, I think
let's start from the national, from the national, then we can come down to the states. So.
Now, at the national level, I think the federal government is on the right track.
Okay.
Although it's coming with some pains.
Okay.
Nobody is immune to this pain in Nigeria. If you're a rich man and you had 1 million before, probably the value of your 1 million between that time and now is just about 300,000.
Yes.
Or 500,000. If you're a poor man, it will be difficult for you to eat. All right? This is the situation that we are today. The pains are there. But you see, sometimes, just like the president himself said, So some of us were living a fake life. You know, fake life is sweet, but it's, by the time it comes to an end, it's bitter. So this is the situation we are. I think the Naira is gradually finding its level.
Yes.
And then we begin to see confidence in our economy, because foreign direct investment, that's foreigners who will bring their portfolio investment, who will bring their dollars to come invest in Nigeria, will be confident that by the time they say they put in $10,000, tomorrow it will not be $5. It will still remain $10,000. So this is what the reform is doing to Nigeria. The second aspect of it is that the subsidy that was draining our economy and we are almost borrowing, all our income was being used to borrow, to service debts, has been blocked. Thankfully, Dangote is coming on stream, and the energy sufficiency hopefully will be a thing of the past. The only problem that we have that I can see seriously are these two issues.
Okay.
The discomfort in terms of the economy, which gradually is becoming stable, might never reach as low as we used to know, but at least the stability is what is important. We'll key in. Once it's stable, all of us will key in.
Yes.
And this is how our economy is run. And the second issue is the insecurity that refuses to go away. But whether we like it or not, I think there's an improvement. Oh, definitely. Yes, we hear about nasty things happening, but if you compare it to what was happening before, I think there's an improvement. As a Muslim, there was a time I was afraid to go to the mosque to pray. I was not sure whether somebody will not come and blow us up. It happened in this country, yes. But today it's a different thing. So the insecurity is still there, but I think they are cracking their heads to find a way to end it. I'm not in government, so I don't have any detail. But as an experienced person, I know that it's something that they will be working on. But I will only urge the president to crack down on corruption within the security system. Because I think so people need to be held accountable. If you are given a job, it's not working, you should answer. I'd like to see a day where some uniforms are dropped because some people have refused to do their job properly. I think that is part of the thing that could help us. But bullets and guns alone cannot solve security.
Okay.
So we also need to double up more on the economy. I know that a lot is being done, but sometimes these things take time. To build is difficult. It takes a while. But we're going to have some pains, for a while, but it will be reducing gradually. As you can see, the food prices are down, petrol is coming down. So hopefully we'll begin to see. And just last week, the central bank has cut down on rates, interest rates.
Yes.
So things will begin to stabilize, and that is what we need. Nigerian economy is not as bad as other countries, although we're supposed to be better. But we just need that stability. Once they is stable, all of us will key in. And sometimes when you key in with a stable economy, these pains will gradually disappear.
With more money coming into the economy, because we've seen subsidy being removed, we've seen a lot of things changes, new tax regime, and a whole lot of things happening within the economic cycle, and more money is coming into the economy. We've seen more money going to states, and of course the federal government is having more money to spend around and do a lot of things. Infrastructural development, do you see us improving with all that we are having now?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Uh, at the federal level, it might be coming late, but it's coming. So I'm very sure that things are gradually becoming stable now. When you come in as a new president and you have started in a disruptive way so that you can put things in order. I mean, just imagine that you come to this studio, things are not working. You push this, you push that, you push that. You need to replace it with something. That replacement, you need to give a contract, you need to get supplies, and it takes time. So by the time it comes in, the place will look better. I think that's what's happening. And so I think the infrastructural development is taking place in other parts of the country. It's not easy to cover the whole country with everything at the same time. So if other sections of the country are having it, maybe another time another section could have it. I'm aware that the coastal roads is going on.
Yeah, the coastal roads is ongoing.
And so many other roads that probably are not close to us here that we're not seeing. But some little, or many things are happening. Now, if you come to the state level, we thank God that with the increased revenue that we're having, our governor in J.S. is very prudent. And you can see the level of achievements we're making in terms of infrastructure. If you begin to mention, there are familiar things we know. The flyover in all the 3 senatorial zones, the famous secretariat that probably is known all over the country now. Everybody in the country has seen one picture or has heard about the quality of that facility. And many others in terms of, and he has not finished because he has a lot of plans, that are going on with the resources that we're having. The road constructions, rural roads. Not every village will have it, but they are going on gradually. I'm sure you must have felt the pulse of that activity. When the governor came, we didn't have lights as good as we have now, but although the foundation was laid before he came, but he made sure that it's working well. We now have a teaching hospital. So a lot of things are taking place, and the government here has fought very well to ensure that the North Central Development Commission is situated here.
Yeah.
And so the operators of that agency, when they start, they will feel the pulse of Nasarawa State before other states. That's why it is important to be here. He fought for it, not for out of nothing. When you're cooking food in your house, the first thing you think about is your children, although your neighbors are waiting. But the mother will first of all look for the plates of her children before dishing it out. So I think we're going to be, bigger beneficiary for this establishment.
We've seen we've seen a lot of things happening in Nasarawa State. We've seen the growth of Nasarawa State's economy with the lithium companies and whatever coming up, and a whole lot of activities are going on at the economic level. And then we've seen infrastructural development like you just mentioned, the overheads and whatever they are going. Now let's go to politically. What is happening at the political scene in Nasarawa State? Because we've seen so many things on the social media today. When you just use it's becoming like everyday thing. One issue coming here, one doing there, with the number of people that are eyeing the seat of His Excellency, the governor, and a whole lot of issues. People seems not to be in uniform with each other, but like there's a disjointed kind of.
Well, that is the character of politics. I'm not sure it's anything strange.
Okay.
What is only strange is the timing.
Okay.
Yes. Remember that the governor is going to end his tenure is coming to an end in 2027. And so, and there is not supposed to be a vacancy. There will be somebody. Those who feel that they have the resources, those who feel that they have the wherewithal and the knowledge to govern the state are struggling it out. This is not the right time for it, but unfortunately it's happening. And when that scenario is available for the citizens, and you begin to have interests here and there pulling each other, or some coming together. And so, but that is politics, and so it's not strange. We're all going to come to terms with it when the time is. Okay. The fact that people have come out now is going to distract the government. Yes. Thankfully, the governor said it's not going to distract him. But one way or the other, it will, you know, no matter how small. Because people will be calling on him for things that are not necessary, in respect of these aspects. And as a responsive leader, you know, he might respond, not to just to allow you feel comfortable that he has listened to you. That's his time. That's his precious time to give us citizens the good of what democracy can offer, or dividend as they call it. And so it's unfortunate that it's starting now, because I have friends, and when I travel out of the state, my friends who have cause to travel through the state will ask me, do we have special election in Nasarawa State? Are you going to have elections soon? Because in their states where they are coming from, this kind of thing doesn't happen. Not yet. And so, but this is us. Not every state is the same, so we have to live with it. But it's politics.
But allowing such things to happen, don't you look at it as a violation of the Electoral Act? Since
it is. It is, but when the people that are supposed to enforce those laws are complicit, or not complicit, but they don't seem to do their job, so what happens?
So if
there is no law, everybody will do what he wants.
It becomes a lawless society.
Yes, and that's the problem.
So as an elderly person and a politician that we all know, and somebody that a lot of us are looking up to, where is your direction in politics?
My own direction?
Your own direction now. We'll be looking at, because we're looking out for where you'll be hanging on, where you'll be heading to.
Well, I'm a member of APC.
Agreed you are, sir.
Yes.
Where is your direction? Whether you have an intention, an ambition, or whatever.
Now, once a politician is always a politician, I mean, what it means is that if you're a leader, you should be ready to serve. All right? No matter how uncomfortable it is. I know how difficult it is to lead. It's not an easy thing to lead. You know, as easy as people just throw in posters, but it's a difficult thing to lead. Ever wonder why some people, when elected, you don't see them again? Yes. Because it's difficult to lead.
Difficult, yeah.
All right? So, but when you are called upon, I mean, seriously, not like people who put posters, they are being called. When you are called upon seriously to serve, I think it is, people see something in you, and they think they are still going to be useful to them. It will be ungodly to say now that, no, you won't. Okay. Provided the conditions are right. You're healthy, it's not going to strain you. The competition also will be healthy. And so you can try and see if what they want can be achieved. If it doesn't work, you go back and continue your thing. I'm a professional, so the way I think is different. I'm in politics by vocation.
Okay.
All right? But as a professional, I'll go back to my office.
With what is happening presently in Nasarawa State politics, do you foresee it's being played right when the time comes? Because it's not yet time. We're just like, okay.
Politics is sometimes, ever wonder why they call it science, political science? When I was in the university, political science was in an arts department or arts faculty.
Okay.
And yet they call it science. So at that time I was wondering why is this in political science when it's in arts faculties? But you see, it's a science. A lot of calculations, a lot of manipulations, a lot of movements here and there, and you need to be schooled in it to be able to discern what is happening. And therefore sometimes it can be very unpredictable. Meaning that you might not be able to say what will happen tomorrow. Yes, you can have an overview of what is happening, but it can change within minutes. So I will not be able to tell you what will happen in 2027, but all I hope, we pray, that things will go right and my party will continue to give Nasarawa State the dividend of democracy. We have started well, and I think we will continue to do well if given the chance in 2027.
Nigeria will be celebrating 65 tomorrow. Nasarawa State will be celebrating, I think, 29 years of existence. How would you rate the performance of the present administration?
In the state?
Yes, in the state.
So, creditably well. God has given us the governor who fears God, who from his background and training is meant to think before doing anything. If you are in the sciences, nothing is just by accident. You have to plan it, you work it out and implement it. 3 stages. And so, because he's an engineer, he's not going to do anything just like that. He plans it, he works it out and implements it. And you can see the results out there. And so, the combination of good moral, combination of knowledge, combination of exposure has given us a leader who is sympathetic, who cares about everybody, and cares about our peace, because that's number one. Thank God, since he came, he has worked it in such a way that we've not had any serious communal, tribal, or religious crisis in the state, except maybe political, and those are not crises, still politics. And so, if you put a different leader who doesn't have the same mindset, our situation will be different. Because everything is about leadership. So we thank God. I think the administration has done very well. His team is doing a very good job. The dividends, in terms of infrastructure, I think we should be happy with what is happening. Economically, is developing the state to another level. Nasarawa State is going to be a business hub. Hopefully, if he leaves now, another person who thinks like him continues, there we go. We will be like Lagos one day. I think every goal is for us is to be able to achieve that. Investors are coming in every day. We're a poor state, I mean, relatively, because everybody is a civil servant. But now businesses are coming to the state, work between Gudi, or even Akwanga, down to Kefi, down to Abuja. You see small businesses stringing up along the road, inside. And that's how it develops. That's how Ogun State is. And if this trend continues, I think we're going to be a very big state. And all started during this administration. So I think they're doing well. We might not have money immediately to put in our pockets, but he's planning for tomorrow. So I think we're on the right track with this administration.
So, as a royal, as someone who belongs to the royal class, because you hold the traditional title of the Mother King Agwatashi Kaura, and you are a politician, what advice will you give to our politicians, and of course, those of us, the youths?
Well, politicians.
So you look at it from two angles. I want you to look at it from your angle as a royal leader, somebody who has a title, and then you look at it from the angle that you are a politician.
Well, first of all, as a politician, I think I want us to, as much as possible, try to accept outcomes.
Okay.
Sometimes outcomes will be in our favor, it might not be in our favor. But you never know what God has before you. Sometimes what we want is not what our Creator wants us to have. So if we go into politics with that kind of mindset, you shouldn't have problem. Some people are going crazy because they think I must win by all means. Now it doesn't happen. There's always one person for one position. And so if you go to that mindset that I can win or lose, whichever outcomes, you are good to go. You just cooperate or you walk away. Just two things. But it's not our job to cause problems and cause chaos for our ordinary citizens who have no business with the kind of things that we do. And so this is my advice for my fellow politicians. The youths, like I've said earlier, be hardworking, be honest with any assignment you are given. Aspire to be what you want to be. But you cannot be what you want to be if you don't plan and play according to the books. It doesn't happen that you just from nowhere and you become something. It doesn't happen. It takes time gradually. Some of us started gradually, right from MPN days. I was not a politician, but I used to follow those who were doing politics or studying from afar what they were doing, and I thought that, hey, I think I've learned the theory enough. Let me start. So we also need to cooperate with our leaders. Our leaders need to give us the benefits of what governance is all about. But they cannot give if we are not cooperating. We cannot give, they cannot give, we don't encourage them. And so we must all work towards ensuring that our leaders at all levels, not just in governance, even traditional, respect our leaders, because that's the only way that things can move. They are there by the rules of the game, either by election or by appointment. And once they are there, you may not have the authority to remove them, except you go back through the same. You want to remove a governor, go back to election. You want to remove a leader appointed, go back to the elected person. All right? Our traditionals are being elected. Governors are being elected. Presidents are being elected. So that is the process. If you want to remove them, go back to election. And it's so simple that we just need to understand these things and do them according to the books. And that's the way societies are run. So I think we need to also try to live in peace. See something, say something. We have all characters around us now. Unfortunately for us in Nasarawa State, Plateau has insecurity more than us. Benue has security more than us. So we are just at the receiving end. And most of the things, little things happening around us in our states, around our societies as a result of what is happening. And so we are not an island. And so we must say something. When you see something that is not going wrong, say something. Because that is the only way we can keep ourselves safe.
When When I asked a question about the youth and how they will get into politics, and you said they should be upright, they should be very sincere, and it is said that we learn from those ahead of us, our elders. And then sometimes back, we've seen a lot of funny things happening with these elders that we're supposed to learn from. And do you see those attitude of these few elders that the youths are supposed to learn from influencing the mindset of the youth?
Oh yes, the attitude of some of these elders you mentioned is going to influence on the youths. But the youths are not children.
Okay.
The youths we're talking about are adults. So they should be able to discern between good leaders and bad leaders.
Okay.
All right? When I say respect elders, of course it cannot be every elder.
Okay.
There are some elders just by age, but by conduct they are not elders. And therefore, our youth should be able to, distinguish between good and bad, which I think they can. But I think what is even more worrisome is about this money thing.
Yeah.
Get rich
Quick.
Our youths are not patient. They want to have it now, and it doesn't happen that way. Dangote took. In fact, I remember when I graduated, I went to Lagos, and somehow I was ushered into Dangote's office. And when I saw him, at that time he was still a young man, but you could see the level of hard work that he was putting into his job. And today, what he has put in, even some of the rich people in the world is giving them some. Who is this kind of person that will put this kind of refinery together? One single individual. And he has done it for Nigeria. I don't believe that refinery is for Dangote alone. It's for Nigeria.
It's for Nigeria.
Because if he unleashes the potentials of that establishment alone,
even the job that establishment is creating.
You can imagine what Nigeria will look like. I just hope that the federal government will intervene and ensure that he has the space to give us what that refinery is supposed to give us.
You were in the Senate, and then sometimes, and by your being in the Senate, you've known some of the nitty-gritties, some of the politics that have been played behind the scene, and a whole lot of things. Today, we are seeing the present Senate. How would you rate their performance? A lot of people will say most of those members are just yes-sir boys to the executive. And under normal circumstances, based on looking at Nigeria Constitution, the principle of separation of power, the principle of checks and balances, where the three organs are supposed to be operating separately, but maybe checking the other. Do you see that happening? And if you see that happening, how would you rate the performance of this Senate, this present Senate?
I think Nigerians are used to or hope or want to see a situation where even the president and the Senate president are boxing in the boxing ring. Maybe it's going to excite some Nigerians, I don't know. But look, every Senate, and that's why you see first Senate, second Senate, 10th Senate, because every Senate has a life of its own. And the way they operate depends on the circumstances, political development, economic development, the situation of the country around them. The way I see it is that this Senate has decided to be very, very cooperative because it's better, and you achieve more than all this. It's not all about corruption. I'm not saying that maybe, I don't know, I have no idea of what is happening, but, principally speaking, if the idea is that things should get better than just commotion here and there, it takes a whole lot of time and distraction. They might be speaking between them behind the scene, you never know. Before it comes to the gallery, they have solved a lot of problems behind the scene. And that's the best way to run a government. It is not by coming to challenge openly, to cause commotion, disagreements, we are not going to move fast. Nigeria needs to move fast. And so the kind of style of governance, either the president or the senior president, will depend on how things are being run. For me, I think they have been, efficient. Because if you look at the number of bills and laws that have been passed within this short period, it's amazing. And that's what the National Assembly is set out to do. It's not set out to build roads and catch thieves, but to make laws for the good governance of Nigeria. And if you look at what they have done so far, I think it's amazing. So I think Nigerians already have a negative perception about National Assembly. So whatever they do is wrong. When I was in the Senate and we had a closed session, and we were discussing issues similar to this, and what was it? It's about just buying a single vehicle for each senator. Generated so much heat. And we had a closed session, and the president said, look, whatever you do with this institution, you can never win with Nigerians because they have already made up their minds. One single vehicle for a senator. If you appoint a minister, before he goes in, you clear him. Before he goes in, they are bought 5 or 6. Nigerians don't complain about that. But one for a senator is an issue. So at that time it was concluded you can't win with Nigerians. So we just try to do the right things. Because it's politics, people read it in different ways.
Different angles, watch it from different angles. Well, thank you very much, Senator Architect Saliu Hussein Ejibola, the Madakin Agwatashi. I would like you to, on a last note, what would be your call to the people of Nasarawa State now that politics is around the corner? We are in the next 1 or 2 years, the flag will be raised and everybody will dabble into it. With what we are seeing today, already tensions have been created on various angles and places. So what would be your advice to the people of Nasarawa State?
My advice to the people is to tarry a while. There's plenty of time, more than 1 year to election. And so if we say that we'll continue to do what we're doing now, we'll be tired. It will become a blame game. People who aspire to go to offices will be tired before the election. Those of us that follow them will be tired, and there will be a blame game. The followers will begin to blame those who are seeking for offices for a problem that, of course, those who are seeking for offices have created, because this is not the right time. So I will create the indulgence of the politicians, that is the followers, to tarry a while, take it easy, allow those who are seeking office to express what they want to express.
Thank you very much, Senator. Time will not permit us to go further, but it's a very fine discussion with Senator Architect Saliu Hussein Ejibola. He has given us a lot and insight into politics in Nigeria, how we play it, governance, and a whole lot of issues. And of course, he has also advised us as an elder statesman, a politician, a title holder in his community. He has given us a lot of advice to see politics in a different, from a different perspective, so that we'll have a harmonious relationship and peace, and of course our state will grow. It is on this note that I would say a happy independence in advance to Nigerians, and of course congratulations to Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State engineers will be hitting 29 tomorrow. On this note, I want to thank you very much, Senator Architect Saliu Hussein Ejibola. Thank you very much for finding time to be here with us. And I do hope and pray that when next we come knocking, you will come and give us this knowledge that is just giving us this evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for inviting me.
To our viewers, this is how it's going to be. And from me, it's bye-bye.
NBS, celebrating the beauty of one.